Hi guys, I'm Shmi and we're at the 2016 Goodwood Festival of Speed, where we're about to go up for a run on the hill climb as part of the supercar paddock in the Aston Martin Vantage GT8. So I'm going to show you around the car, then we're going to go for a run in it, and I've also got a little announcement to make. So as well as this pretty special experience going up the hill, I'm also able to tell you now that I have one of these on order. So I put down a deposit a couple of months ago for the Aston GT8. It's going to be delivered to me towards the end of this year, and I'm going to take you on that journey as we go through to delivery. So that's pretty exciting. More about that later. Let's take a little look now at the car. So what is this? The Vantage GT8 is sort of the final version of the V8 Vantage. It's a special edition. They're only creating 150 of them, so it's going to be pretty rare. It starts at £165,000 for the car, which has the 4.7 litre naturally aspirated V8 engine up front that we know from the model that has been now around for a few years. But it was also the first, well, it was my first proper car, the V8 Vantage Roadster, so it means a lot to me. And this is a particularly special one, being the sort of last edition of the car. GT8 plays a lot of sort of tributes to the GTE race car. You've got these sort of cutaways behind the front arches. You've got the huge aero kit with the rear wing, the aggressive diffuser, the front splitter, and all of the parts around the car. This one's finished in Diavolo Red, which was a special colour launched for the Vantage V12 Zagato when that came out. It looks awesome with all of the carbon fibre, the silver accent pack. It's also available with a halo pack, but it's beautiful, it's incredible. It's got 446 horsepower, 440 brake horsepower that translates to, so 0 to 62 time in the 4 seconds, but that's not what it's all about. Let me show you inside. It's all about this. 6-speed manual gearbox available in this car, 3 pedals. You can have it with the optional 7-speed sport shift, but I think you'd be a little bit crazy to do so. This is all about the driving experience, not necessarily the speed, and that's what the first reviews of the car have all said. It's a fantastically balanced car and a true delight to drive, so I'm very, very excited about this one. Just look around it. You've got this sort of enlarged, aggressive front end with the carbon sort of scooping round over the vents or beneath the grille. You've got the carbon fibre grille optional, but sort of reminiscent of the V12, which is quite nice. You've got options like this, the carbon fibre bonnet badge, which is sort of natural carbon. It just looks so, so cool. And then the aero kit, that's these extended front splitters around the base. Centre lock alloy wheels is another option, through to this rather large carbon fibre rear wing sitting on the boot lid. The car is just stunning. Down here, titanium exhaust, sounds insane. You're going to hear that shortly. This is a proper car and a wonderful way to end the V8 Vantage storyline. So, we're going to be heading up the hill today. I'm looking forward to this one, and I'm very pleased to have finally made that announcement. It's been a secret for a while, and I hope you're as excited as I am. The Vantage GT8, let's check it out. Let's jump in. Unlock, pull the door handles, we've got the swan doors. Step in. Now this is where it gets exciting. You see, feet on the pedals. Let's start this up. This car sounds insane. Barely even revving it, just listen to that. 3,500. What a phenomenal sound. You've heard it now, and is this not one of the best sounding cars that has ever been made? That titanium exhaust might be an expensive option, but there is no way on earth I would ever have my car any other way. It needs the aero kit and it needs the exhaust. This thing, it's something about appealing to the heart. The head might say that it's expensive and perhaps not the fastest car or not the newest car, but to be honest, that goes out of the window. It's an Aston Martin. There is so much more to this car, so much more emotional attachment that comes from just being anywhere near it, and that's why it sort of grasped my attention and I didn't spend a moment further thinking about it. Taking a look around the inside, it's all carbon and Alcantara. The door card's fully carbon, but with these sort of small leather inserts with the stitching and the matched colour on the door pulls there. Everything else pretty much is Alcantara around the dashboard, all sort of weight-saving Alcantara steering wheel. You can have it with an optional wheel with radio controls and cruise control as well. You've got the sort of carbon design up through the centre stack, obviously with Aston Martin's famed glass keys that you put into the centre to start it up. Just taking a further look, the pedals down there, just so you can see what we're playing with. Exciting times. And the gear stick with a very short throw to it as well. That's nice. New design for Aston. It's got a low line centre console, so it sits a little bit lower. They used to be a bit higher and have more of a storage bucket, but this is better for the gearbox and arm positioning. Now in the GT8, you've got the bucket seat, of course, with the Vantage GT8 embroidery, which is a nice place to be sat. A couple of options, you can have them fully manual like this car has, or with a little bit of electrical adjustment where you'd have the controls on here. And then you can tell this car's kitted out a bit for racing at the Goodwood hill climb. But it's everything we know and everything we love, made a little bit more hardcore, and that's what I think is so much sort of fun about it, and the appeal to me. It's the specialness of this car, the tribute to what has been an amazing, amazing run for Aston Martin since they introduced the DB9 and the V8 Vantage with this chassis structure. And I'm very excited to be going up the hill climb in it. We're not just going up the hill climb in it, we're sat behind Aston Martin's track hypercar, the Vulcan, and we also have behind us the V12 Vantage S manual, and behind that the new GT12 Roadster. So exciting times ahead in a car that means an awful lot to me.
Maro did the left turn out into the
As we roll up towards the start line, my driver for the day, Marek Reichman, Chief Creative Officer for Aston Martin, and a man I've been following for a very long time through the 177 and all sort of different special projects. This is a pretty special car in its own right, though.
It is. It's great. It's great to be in it. 150 units that we're making. The GT8 really takes race car onto the road, and it's the car that you're going to enjoy
the
going up the hill
the
with.
GTE heritage, of course, the story.
Absolutely.
And here we are.
Can't see through the smoke.
got helmets on. I can't imagine what that sounds like if you're out on your own. Wow, what's it like to drive?
It's great, beautifully balanced.
Yeah.
Has a really nice feeling to it.
A lot of fun. Oh goodness. Well, that was pretty exciting for me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, the nice thing about the GT8 is that it is beautifully balanced car in terms of its almost 50-50 weight distribution.
Yeah.
And as opposed to the GT12 where you're using torque to get that experience, here you're actually getting the engine to rev higher and getting the car to feel more lively. Yeah. And it has just a beautiful balance. As you saw just then, it's so controllable. It's,
I'm looking forward to my first drive in it now.
Absolutely, you're going to
be
enjoy
awesome. Brilliant, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers.
After my run up the hill, that was absolutely awesome. I am so incredibly excited for this car. The noise is phenomenal. It blows everything out of the water. It must be one of the best sounding V8s ever. The normal V8 Vantage sounds insane. The GT8 with the titanium exhaust is just something else. What a run. I can't even put into words how excited I am for this car to arrive. What a machine. Oh, it just looks so good, especially in this configuration. I wouldn't want to copy the same spec on my car, but the paint, the Diavolo red, is amazing with the accents. You get like the triple part to the accent pack, the base, the side skirts, and around the diffuser too. Or if you have the halo scheme, it even has some painted parts, the stripe down the side, and this sort of area around the headlights too. Or you can have different Q parts, different options. The end plate could be painted as well, for example. Lots to look at and consider for the specification. But first run down, what a car. I have no words for the excitement I have right now. We are back in the paddock, and what a special experience for me, and hopefully a pretty cool video for you guys too, being able to see a very limited edition and special Aston Martin, the Vantage GT8, soon to be a future Shmeemobile. Like I mentioned at the beginning, the Vantage V8, the V8 Vantage platform has obviously a lot of significance to me. My first proper car, dare I say it, was the 4.7 litre Aston Martin V8 Vantage Roadster. That was back about 6 years ago or so now. So when I found out that this car was coming, a sort of tribute almost to where this started for me with luxury cars and the supercars, I wanted just to get back into the Aston Martin fold and give it a go. It's a very emotional connection to the brand. Something that's quite hard to ever, I think, put in words, but certainly being British and what the car's all about is a big thing for me. So the GT8 was, without a shadow of a doubt, a car I was hoping that I was going to be able to get, and I'm lucky enough to get an allocation for. So I'm going to be sharing that story with you. Aston Martin have invited me to some pretty cool stuff, so that's all going to be coming as we spec the car, go through to delivery ultimately, and then probably take it on some road trips. You know me pretty well. I'm going to be driving the car, putting some miles on it, and taking it to some pretty cool things, hopefully some track days down the line. And I'm sure some of you are wondering, what will it be in comparison with the GT4? Will it replace GT4 in my garage, given that it's the same manual kind of experience? Well, I bought the GT4 as a way to sort of have a driver's car, and the GT8 is kind of an addition to that, because I'm basically hooked. It's absolutely awesome. And I imagine this is going to be an awful lot of fun. But I'm going to wrap up this one there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll follow me on the adventures and the journey and the road to the GT8. Big thanks to Marek and everybody at Aston Martin for that opportunity. I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. Audi have released the upgraded version of the RS6 the RS6 Performance, which is what this. Of course, we've got the Brabus 500 G500 4x4, where they